Liam had always thought living on a distant planet would be the adventure of a lifetime. As a young human engineer, he had expected alien worlds to be strange. But he never imagined how strange life would become when shared housing was required with beings he could barely understand. On planet Thalor, a sprawling colony built from shining metal and strange glowing flora, humans and aliens coexisted under a delicate treaty, a balance of respect and curiosity. Most of the time it worked. Most of the time Liam's roommate Zyra was not like any human he had ever met. She was an alien xenobiologist, brilliant in her field and utterly private about her personal life. The other tenants often whispered stories about her abilities, about how she could manipulate matter in ways humans could only dream of. Liam had always admired her from afar, careful not to intrude into her privacy. That night, however, his curiosity would lead him into something unexpected. The evening had been long. Liam spent hours in the lab repairing a malfunctioning atmospheric sensor. His work had left him exhausted, and when he returned to the living quarters, he only wanted a hot shower before collapsing into bed. He moved quickly through the hallways, barely noticing the soft glow of Thalor's moonlight streaming through the windows. The house was quiet, the kind of silence that made you feel both safe and slightly uneasy. Liam approached what he thought was his room. He fumbled with the lock, his mind still on the sensor issue. The door clicked open, and he stepped inside, not realizing the mistake he had made. Zyra's room was dimly lit by bioluminescent panels embedded in the walls. Water rippled softly in a small basin in the center of the room. And then he saw her. She was unlike anything he had ever imagined. Her body flowed like liquid, semi-transparent with faint light glimmering under the water. Her form shifted with an elegance that made the air itself seem alive. Liam froze, heart pounding. This was no human, no creature he had ever studied. Zyra noticed him immediately. For a moment there was silence. Liam felt the weight of the intrusion, the unspoken rules of respect he had just broken. But instead of anger, Zyra's eyes reflected something else, mild curiosity. "Liam," she said, her voice calm but firm, "you shouldn't be here." I'm sorry," Liam stammered, stepping back. "I thought this was my room." "I didn't mean—" Zyra raised a slender limb indicating he should stop. "It's fine. But now that you have seen, perhaps you can understand why privacy is important to my species." Liam nodded quickly, still trying to process the image before him. I didn't mean to intrude. I just—" His words faltered as he realized how little he truly understood about Zyra's physiology. She moved gracefully in the water, the light in her form pulsing softly. "Your species tends to react with shock when you encounter something unfamiliar," she said. "That is normal. But you must learn that understanding requires more than just seeing. It requires respect and openness." Liam swallowed hard, feeling both embarrassed and fascinated. "I want to understand," he said sincerely. "I don't want to disrespect you." Zyra studied him for a long moment as if deciding whether he was worthy of her trust. Then she nodded slightly. "Very well. I will explain." She began to describe her species' unique biology. "Our forms are adapted to both our environment and our culture. What you see is not random. The liquid-like structure allows us to interact with our surroundings in ways that would be impossible for humans. We can change shape, adapt to pressure, and even communicate through subtle shifts in light and color." Liam listened, captivated. He had read about alien physiology, but nothing prepared him for this. Every detail Zyra shared expanded his understanding, challenging assumptions he didn't even know he had. "You may notice," Zyra continued, "that our bodies are semi-transparent. This is not just for function, but also for emotional expression. The subtle glow you see is tied to our feelings, our responses to the world around us." Liam's eyes widened. "So the colors, the light. That's how you show emotions?" "Yes," Zyra said simply. "But it is not easy for humans to interpret. That is why most do not understand us." She paused, her eyes meeting his. "Yet you have not recoiled. You did not respond with fear. That is unusual." Liam felt a warmth in his chest. Zyra's words were more than observation. They were acknowledgement. I'm curious," he admitted. "I want to learn, to understand. Not just about your form, but about everything that makes your species what it is." Zyra considered this, her form rippling softly in the water. Then she spoke in a tone that held both challenge and invitation. Curiosity is good, but understanding is not always safe. My species has abilities you cannot yet comprehend. If you wish to see, you must promise to remain respectful and open-minded. No fear, no assumptions, Liam nodded eagerly. I promise. I just want to understand. For a moment she floated in silence as if testing his sincerity. Then she moved toward a device in the corner of the room. Very well. Tomorrow I will show you a controlled demonstration of my abilities. Here in this environment you can witness them safely. But tonight, you must leave this room and respect the privacy you have breached. Liam stepped back, relief washing over him. Thank you, I won't forget this. Zira's form shimmered faintly, a subtle sign of amusement, though he would not have known it if he did not pay attention to the small details she allowed humans to notice. Do not forget that respect and understanding are more important than mere curiosity, she said. As Liam left the room, he could not stop thinking about what he had seen. The encounter had unsettled him, yes, but it had also ignited a spark of wonder he had not felt since he first arrived on Thalor. For the first time he began to see alien life not as strange or threatening, but as complex, beautiful, and worthy of admiration. That night, sleep came fitfully. Liam dreamed of flowing lights, shifting forms, and strange, beautiful landscapes. He imagined what it would be like to see the world through Zira's eyes, to understand the subtleties humans often missed. His mind raced with questions, hypotheses, and ideas, all of which he knew he would explore carefully and respectfully. The next morning, he approached Zira's lab with a mix of excitement and nervousness. She was already there, manipulating samples with grace that seemed almost choreographed. When she noticed him, her form pulsed softly, an indication of curiosity on her part. Are you ready? She asked. Liam took a deep breath. Yes, I want to see. I want to learn. Zira led him to a controlled environment designed to safely display her abilities. There she demonstrated her shape-shifting skills, her ability to manipulate light, and even subtle interactions with objects that seemed impossible. Liam's mind raced with wonder, and yet he remained cautious, respecting the boundaries she had set. Your form. It's incredible, Liam said, awe in his voice. I've never seen anything like this. Zira's glow pulsed gently. It is natural for my species. But to you it is extraordinary. That is why understanding is difficult. Humans see only what is familiar. To truly understand, you must look beyond appearances. Liam nodded, feeling the truth in her words. He realized that his accidental intrusion had become a rare opportunity, not just to witness alien biology, but to bridge the gap between species through curiosity, respect, and open-mindedness. Hours passed as Zira patiently explained her abilities, her culture, and the logic behind her form. Liam asked questions, sometimes clumsily, sometimes thoughtfully, but always respectfully. She answered each one, revealing not only scientific facts but also glimpses of a philosophy that valued balance, harmony, and the blending of form and function. By the end of the day, Liam felt transformed. His perception of alien life had expanded, and with it, his appreciation for diversity, intelligence, and the unknown. Zira had become more than a roommate. She was a teacher, a guide, and perhaps the first true friend he had on Thalor. As he returned to his room that evening, Liam reflected on the strange path that had led him here. A simple mistake, entering the wrong room, had opened a door to understanding and friendship he had never anticipated. And deep down, he knew this was only the beginning of a story that would challenge, inspire, and transform him in ways he could not yet imagine. Liam lay in bed, staring at the ceiling as Thalor's twin moons cast a soft glow across his room. He thought about Zira, about her glowing, flowing form, about the lessons he had learned in just one day. He realized that in the vast universe, surprises waited around every corner, and that curiosity, tempered with respect, was the key to discovering them. Tomorrow, he would return to Zira's lab, eager to see more, eager to learn more, and perhaps, just perhaps, eager to see the universe through eyes not entirely his own. The next morning, Liam woke early, his mind buzzing with anticipation. He dressed quickly and stepped out into the cool, metallic hallways of the colony. Thalor's twin suns were just beginning to rise, casting a soft blue and golden glow across the city. His heart beat faster at the thought of returning to Zira's lab, where he would learn more about her unique abilities and the secrets of her species. Zira was already there, moving gracefully among her instruments, her form shifting subtly as she focused on her work. When she noticed him, her glow pulsed gently, a sign of acknowledgement and perhaps something akin to amusement. Liam hesitated for a moment, then stepped forward. "Good morning," he said, trying to keep his voice steady. "I'm ready to learn." Zira's eyes glimmered. "Very well. Today we will explore not only my form, but also how my species interacts with the environment. You must pay attention and respect every boundary I set. Are you ready for that?" Liam nodded eagerly. "Yes, I understand." She guided him to a chamber designed for controlled demonstrations. The walls were transparent, allowing observation but preventing any accidental harm. Inside, the air shimmered slightly as if charged with energy, and Liam felt a tingle run across his skin. He realized that this was not just about seeing Zira's abilities. It was about experiencing a world very different from his own. Zira stepped into the center of the chamber and began to shift her form. Her body flowed and rippled, changing shape almost like water being sculpted by invisible hands. Liam watched, fascinated, as she manipulated light, creating soft, glowing patterns that danced across the room. She reached out and objects in the chamber moved as if responding to her presence. "Your form, it can interact with matter like this?" Liam asked, his voice full of awe. "Yes," Zira replied. "It is an extension of our biology. We can influence our environment in ways humans cannot. But it is not magic. It is adaptation. Understanding the balance between our abilities and the world around us is key to survival on my home planet." Liam's mind raced. He tried to imagine the possibilities of such powers, not for dominance or war, but for creation, for science, for understanding life itself. "It's incredible," he whispered. Zira's glow pulsed softly. "It is remarkable, yes, but also dangerous if misunderstood. That is why humans must approach us with curiosity tempered by caution. Fear or aggression will always result in mistakes." They spent hours in the chamber. Zira demonstrated subtle forms of communication through light, how her body could adapt to temperature changes, and even how she could store energy in her form. Liam asked questions carefully, and she answered each one, sometimes explaining in ways he struggled to fully grasp. Yet he learned quickly, absorbing more than he had expected. By midday, they took a break. Liam sat on a bench, exhausted but exhilarated. He looked at Zira, who had returned to a form closer to what he had first seen, fluid and glowing, but now more calm and composed. "You're very patient with me," he said. "Most humans would probably panic or be afraid." Zira tilted her head, a gesture that reminded him of curiosity mixed with amusement. "I observe. Humans are often limited by fear or misunderstanding. You have shown respect and genuine curiosity. That is rare." Liam felt a warmth in his chest. He realized that their accidental encounter had grown into something much more meaningful. Zira was no longer just a mysterious roommate. She was a teacher, a guide, and perhaps a friend in a world where friendship between species was still fragile. The calm of the moment was broken by an alarm in the lab. Red lights flashed and a soft warning tone echoed through the chamber. Liam jumped to his feet. "What's happening?" he asked, alarmed. Zira's form rippled with urgency. "There has been a minor containment breach in the main lab. Some experimental xenobiological samples have become unstable. If not contained, they could cause harm to the facility." Liam's mind raced. "How can we stop it?" Zira moved swiftly, her form flowing like water as she headed for the control panel. "We must act quickly. Your understanding of technology and my abilities must work together. You will assist me, but you must follow instructions exactly." Liam nodded, determination replacing his fear. "I'm ready." They moved through the corridors at a rapid pace. Liam followed Zira's lead, feeling a mix of fear and excitement. When they reached the lab, he saw the cause of the alarm. Small alien organisms had broken free from their containment units, glowing faintly and moving unpredictably. Their energy field interacted strangely with the lab's equipment, creating a dangerous situation. "Stay close," Zira instructed. "Observe the pattern of their movement. Use the stabilizers here and here. I will manipulate their energy field to guide them back into containment." Liam followed her instructions, carefully adjusting controls and monitoring readings. Zira moved fluidly, her glowing form interacting with the organisms in a way that was mesmerizing to watch. She seemed to guide them with gentle pulses of light, shaping their movement without force or harm. Hours passed in tense concentration. Liam learned quickly how to anticipate Zira's actions and support her with his technical skills. Together, they slowly corralled the organisms back into containment units. Finally, with one last pulse of light from Zira, the lab was secure. Liam exhaled deeply, relief washing over him. "We did it," he said, voice shaking slightly from the adrenaline. Zyra's glow softened, a sign of calm returning. "Yes, together we succeeded. This is what understanding and cooperation can achieve. You demonstrated patience, observation, and respect. I am impressed." Liam smiled, feeling pride and a newfound confidence. "Thank you, Zira. I couldn't have done it without you." Zyra's form shimmered faintly, almost like a smile. "And you could not have done it without me." That is the lesson. Cooperation, understanding, and respect create results far greater than fear or isolation. The rest of the day passed quietly. Liam and Zira returned to their shared space, both tired but satisfied. They spoke less, each absorbed in thought. But there was an unspoken bond forming between them, a bond built on trust, respect, and the shared experience of learning something extraordinary. That evening, Liam sat by the window looking out at Thalor's twin moons. He thought about what he had learned, the beauty of alien life, the value of patience and respect, and the importance of understanding differences rather than fearing them. Zyra's presence had changed his perspective, showing him that the universe was far more wondrous and complex than he had ever imagined. Zyra entered the room quietly, her glowing form shifting gently. She did not speak at first, simply observing Liam as he reflected on the day's events. Then she said softly, "You have done well today. Not because of skill alone, but because of your willingness to learn, to see beyond appearances. That is rare among humans." Liam turned to her, feeling a mixture of gratitude and awe. "Thank you. I hope to keep learning. There is so much I don't understand yet." Zira's glow pulsed softly, conveying a sense of approval. "Then you will continue. And I will continue to teach. Our species may be different, but learning is universal. Curiosity bridges worlds." Liam smiled, feeling a sense of purpose he had not felt before. He realized that this experience was only the beginning. There were more lessons to learn, more mysteries to uncover, and perhaps more connections to form. The universe was vast, and he was eager to explore it, not alone but with Zira by his side. As the night deepened, Liam lay in bed, thinking about the events of the day. He reflected on how a simple mistake, entering the wrong room, had led to a profound experience. He had witnessed alien life in its purest form, faced challenges that tested his courage and intelligence, and formed a bond that transcended species. He drifted into sleep, dreaming of glowing forms, shifting lights, and strange, beautiful landscapes. In his dreams, he walked alongside Zira, learning, exploring, and discovering worlds beyond his imagination. And deep down, he knew that this was only the start of a journey that would challenge him, inspire him, and transform him in ways he could not yet fully understand. Morning would bring new lessons, new experiences, and new challenges. But for now, Liam felt content. He had glimpsed the extraordinary, faced it with respect and courage, and come away changed. And somewhere in the quiet glow of the colony, Zyra watched over the sleeping city, her form pulsing softly with satisfaction. Together, they were learning not just about each other, but about the universe itself, its wonders, its dangers, and its endless possibilities. And Liam knew that with respect, curiosity, and courage, there was no limit to what he could understand, no boundary too great to cross, and no mystery too strange to explore. The accidental glimpse into Zira's life had become a doorway to discovery, a bridge between worlds, and a lesson in the power of curiosity and understanding. And as Liam slept, the universe seemed a little brighter, a little more connected, and a little more alive than he had ever imagined.